But yeah, we are getting in. My condolences to JimRising. He had such an amazing run in DreamHack, but his DreamHack run is over, and now here he is in Copa Hyperion in the semi-finals.
Yes, and representing the macacos, la comunidad macaca. He is the Mexican Cirque player that literally plays since the game was created. He's the legend, JimRising.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide ALE, we have the returning player, the Mexican Terran. He's blue, representing Alpha X. It is Sinner. Do people want to be a part of Team Macacos? Is that a thing? Is that?
Yes, because it's very funny because although when you listen to this word at first, it sounds like, man, why would you want to call yourself a macaco? It's kind of weird, you know. But when you see his stream and how he interacts with his community, it's just another story. It feels like you are part of something. It feels like you are in a friendly place where you can stop, when you can forget for a moment about the egos in this game. You know, there's a lot of egos in this game. I'm better than you because I'm diamond, because I'm platinum, and you're bronze, and all this stuff. But in the macaco community, it doesn't happen. They are all happy, just enjoying the game, doing stupid stuff, and they don't care about it. You know, they just enjoy it. And that's why many people love JimRising, and he's now facing against a very tough Terran opponent, but he's got the experience. That's what can be a very good factor to win against him.
Definitely. I mean, JimRising, I mean, he's a man of the people. He's a man of the people. And on top of that, he's an amazing player, right? It's one of those things where JimRising, I've heard him on like Last Speed Up podcast or on his stream. He's like, yo, like, I'm just a streamer. I'm just an entertainer. Like, I'm not really a player anymore. But he's still so damn good at this game. And he's got that experience, as you said. Like, there was a long time where he was a pro player. He was like in America, like in the Root House and all this stuff. Like, he's accomplished so much in his career. He's still amazing. There's a reason why he made it all the way into DreamHack.
Yeah, there was a time where he picked Special even.
Yeah.
And it was a real game. Special was not trolling. He just killed Special. I was so surprised. It's like, man, this guy, how old is he? And he's still playing like a god. So it's very amazing to see players like this have fun and be so successful. You know, the community enjoys when they are so happy when they see JimRising win, because the community knows that he no longer plays like he played before, but at the same time they still see a lot of hard work. So it's kind of like you want to see that guy go up, you know, in the top one. It's like you want to see it. You want to see him get into the championship.
Yeah, exactly. He's amazing. He's beautiful. We're also big fans of him here. He always gives the CranKy Ducklings a lot of love as well. We really appreciate it. JimRising. I think he was even probably watching Re versus Roro on our stream, on his stream. But it's fine. As we are getting into this game, and JimRising is just doing JimRising things. I've noticed that he does this a lot in ZvT. He stays on two bases a little bit longer than a regular player. He still gets a third, but just a little bit delayed.
Yeah, he wants to take every step, like he goes step by step. Do I see any aggression? No? Okay, I can expand. He's not like this blind player that follows a build and that's it. You know, he thinks about the game. He goes for strategy. He wants to play it safe. He doesn't want to give up any chances of losing the game. And now he's gonna have the resources to defend this attack, and I love it, because if it wasn't for the delay, he wouldn't have the queens that he's got now. He wouldn't have the positioning and the bailing on the way. It's just brilliant how this guy dominates the timings in such a good fashion so that Sinner can be pushed back. But at the same time, it's kind of difficult because now Sinner at least now has the map control. He's going to have a safe transition into a third base. He's going to get all the structure that he needs in order to follow a greater game, a late game. So it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah. As you were saying, like JimRising is a very different player, very stylistic as well. You know, you call him like the king of los macacos. He's also like the muted king as well, for example. And I bring that up because he was going for a fast lair for that fast fire.
Oh my god. Se viene la macacada, gente de Mutaliscos. And it's impressive because this guy always says mutas are the worst unit. He always says that in his own stream. He's like, never go for Mutalisk. And now you see him go for Mutalisk. That's a macacada. That's why people love him, because he just goes for this stuff. It doesn't work, but it's so stupid that it works. People never imagine Zergs go so early into Mutalisk when Hellions are pressuring up your base. So let's see if it works, the play, you know?
Yeah, I am a little bit concerned just because 2 queens just died. Typically, like when you go into a fast spire like this, you save your gases, you spend your minerals on your mutas, and you defend. But the mutas haven't been rebuilt, mate. Like there's not a lot here. The drones are under threat. The Hellions still pose a very strong threat. Oh god.
Yeah, Banelings are just buying time. He's desperate. He needs to save these drones because he's been so greedy. Now the splits comes up, but 9 drones have been already killed. That's such a nice spot for Sinner. He's gonna take a very efficient trade from this. And I'm very scared right now because if he doesn't make any damage from these queens, if he doesn't do anything, he's dead. There's no turning back. He needs to do the macacada.
Yeah. Exactly. And as you were saying, like, you know, he took so much damage because of the early spire. Like, it's a massive risk, right? And unfortunately, what I was about to say is that Sinner, he saw the gases taken out the third base so fast. Because of that, you know there's a massive gas investment. He makes sure he scans the natural. Sinner, he sees the spire. He knows what's coming his way. Missile turrets are done. Marines are at the third base. Missile turrets are in the natural and in the main as well, covering the production. Jim, you gotta make some magic happen. These mutas, they have to deal some damage.
Yeah, he's in a very ugly spot. Sinner with experience. Oh no, ah la la. 2 mutas already have fallen, and now will be at least 1 SCV. Okay, 2 SCVs going down. That's something, but he needs more.
Yeah, he needs more because that was 2 SCVs for 2 meters, mate. That's not a trade you want as a Zerg player.
That doesn't seem fair to me.
Not at all, mate. Not at all. What I will say is the mutas are doing a good job at keeping Sinner at home, keeping him busy. You know, now we see better. Oh my god, that was a surround. No!
More Mutalisks going down. I think 5 Mutalisks have been killed in this game, or 4. But it's a lot of losses. And now Sinner, what he expects is that Jim will not commit into more Mutalisks, because that would be the worst move. You already have countered the Mutalisk account. There's no way that you will make more mutas, but there you go. You see JimRising making more mutas. And let's see if he can make more damage. But that's what happens, you know. That's why you don't go for more mutas, because if the Terran is smart, he's gonna have Thor, he's gonna have the Marines in position, and it will be so damn hard to make a damage out of this defense, you know.
Yes.
It's just so difficult.
It's one of those things where Jim, like, he is one of the best when it comes to controlling mutas and going for this style, but he's known for this. Everyone knows he's the muta king. Sinner, mate, he's another Mexican player. He knows who JimRising is, and that's why he has the Thor. That's why he's getting drilling claws. He's going into widow mines. What I will say though, hey, the mutas. Oh my god, no!
Oh, no! Is he gonna? Oh my god! So many mutas have been killed in this game, and there's no damage. Literally no damage. 5 SCVs, I think, have been going down into this game. 1 gas, and that's it. That's so good trade for Sinner. You know, Sinner had the best cost-efficient defense that I have ever seen against a guy who rushed Mutalisk. And that is because he had the early information.
Yes.
With the Hellions, like you said, the early gas, nobody takes so many gases and has no units. Like, something's going on right here. And he scouted the mutas, and there was just no turning back from Jimbo. unluckily the macaco has been turned into the jungle. Oh my god.
What I will say is that what these mutas have been doing quite well is keeping Sinner at home. Sinner hasn't gone out across the map. He hasn't gone for any drops because of that. Jim, mate, he's double expanded, right? He's droning up. He's trying to get back into this. The difference in supply isn't that big. So it's not the worst case scenario. 1-1 is about to finish up in a couple of seconds for this big push. Oh, and Sinner comes back.
The army supply is so big for Sinner. It's just one engagement.
Yeah.
If he makes that one engagement, it's over. So Jimbo needs to be so cost efficient right now. He needs to make a good split. He does not have to take so much damage from the Widow Mines. He needs to do so many things at the same time to pull a defense, efficient defense, and I'm afraid. Oh my god, just 2 Widow Mines have killed another 2 Mutalisk. It's just a nightmare for the Mutalisk. It's been the worst party for the Mutalisk.
Exactly, just things have not gone well here for Jim, but he still has a chance. He still has a chance to take this one engagement, as you were saying. His creep threat has much to be desired. We do see Sinner being very methodical, slowly pushing in, going for a bit of a double drop here, and yo, Jim is pushing in off of creep.
Oh my god, those Widow Mines are so sick, but at the same time, the Marines are not being so efficient, so he's gonna be able to take out the Thors, he's gonna be able to take out all the Widow Mines, and the Medivacs now have to run, but he lost one of the bases. He lost the 5th base. He will not be able to transition so quickly into the pace of the Terran economy, so Sinner and Jimbo are like almost even, almost even. Sinner still has a little bit of an advantage, but JimRising has bought himself more time with that engagement.
Exactly, that was a beautiful fight there. Like, it was really risky, incredibly risky, and there was still some really good Widowmine shots in the middle of that. But there was just so much Ling Bane and overwhelm. Oh my god! No! Oh god, another big shot. Sinner, he is back. He does not stop. He's relentless. He's rallying across the map here, trying to force the engagement. He has the upgrade advantage. Again, Jim, just has to wait a little bit longer for 2-2 for his Ultralisk Cavern to finish up.
Now he's trying to trade as efficient as possible with the Widow Mine so he can take the engagement, and there you go, he goes again. He needs to take a good engagement in the Thors. Oh my god. Oh, nice split from JimRising. Nice micro. He's been able to support all the Terran pressure. He took down the Thor, which is very important unit to deal with the Mutalisk. He's still in this game, but at what cost, man? He still does not have the 5th base. It's such important base that he needs to take right now. And Sinner now is punishing the economy.
Exactly. Here we go. He's pushing on forward. He wants to take down this 4th base, and it looks like he will get it. JimRising is getting set up for another attack, for another surround. He has to be so careful as there's another Widowmine.
That was very intense. And now the Medivacs are trying to be as efficient as possible. Mutalisk! No! Oh my god! He has lost almost all the Mutalisk. Only 2 Mutalisk in. Oh my god! Is he a sniper? those are best Mutalisk I have ever seen. Only 2 Mutalisk doing this.
The hero Mutalisk, they do clean up these drops. There's nothing left in these Medivacs. We see another drop here towards the north. No, there's nothing here. 2 queens go down.
Yeah, and Sinner is just insanely good. He already has 5 bases. No, I'm mistaken. I think it's 6 bases. Am I?
Yeah, the 6
bases. Oh my god, this guy is having insane macro. And JimRising only getting the 5th base. He's taking a 6th base too. He's taking 3 bases at the same time. Oh
He's triple expanding.
Yeah, such a bold move. And
it's a necessary move, right? Oh, he's forced to cancel one of them. Like, he needs to get these bases up and running. But Sinner, mate, there's a reason why he took down El Huevito. There's a reason why he took down Eggs in the DreamHack qualifiers. He's just so damn good. But you know what, Jim? He bought enough time. Ultras have now come out.
Yeah, but now what I worry about is that there could be a chance of battle cruisers or the liberators with the upgrade, because there's the fusion core coming up next. He knows that Ultralisk are on the way. There's still no 3-3 for the Zerg, so there's always a timing to defend this. Now the big engagement comes in. If JimRising can connect with the Widowmines, what? Oh my god, what a nice engagement. There were no Widowmines.
Yeah, there were no Widowmines. All the Thors went down. There's only one medevac left. A lot of the bio gets cleaned up. JimRising once again takes another big fight.
But it was very insane the fact that Sinner killed so many Banes. It was insanely good. I love the micro that he did there. And since he's in so many bases, he can take these trades. Not JimRising. He's barely defending.
Exactly, and Sinner, he doesn't let up the pressure. He just keeps sending more and more units across the map, just doesn't let Jim get this base up and running. What I will say, the northern bases, they finally finished up. You know, they're being saturated slowly but surely. The Ultras are here to deal with these Widowmines.
Oh no, and 2 Widowmines take the attention of the entire main army of JimRising, and that causes Sinner to snipe the Ultralisk Cavern. Oh my god, that was such a nice move. Only 2 Widowmines needed to be there in place to make JimRising go to the other side of the map. He takes advantage of that move, and now everything's falling apart.
Exactly. The Ultra Cavern went down. The 5th base went down as well. I believe that was a kill, not a cancel, so it has to be rebuilt. Thankfully, I was a little bit worried that maybe the upgrades would be denied as well, but they continue. 3-3 will finish. Infestors are coming out. Corruptors are coming out. JimRising, he's refining his army very nicely, but he is struggling when it comes to the economy.
Yeah, and the Widowmines are still alive. Okay. Nice. They got killed. JimRising got mad at me. He's like, CristianoX, shut up. And now there comes the big engagement. Nice split from Sinner. Nice micromanagement. And now the Ultralisk are being killed. Although Ultralisk are still following the army, this trade's so damn good for Sinner because he can replace this bio army. He can always replace this. Ultralisk, once they are killed, it's so hard to get them once again into the battle. And Corruptors are also getting a lot of DPS. So now JimRising needs to fall back. And this is such an insane game. I don't know how JimRising is still alive.
I am so surprised that JimRising chased so far off of creep that army. He just lost like 3 or 4 Ultras trying to chase that down. Ultras are great, but mate, you need a buffer. You need some Ling Bane alongside them. And JimRising, he's holding well, but at the same time, like, these are really expensive losses, right? Especially because, if I'm not mistaken, he did not rebuild that Ultra Cavern. Like, these are the only Ultras that he can work with.
Oh, you're actually right. And he needs another base too. He needs a 6th base because, as you can see, the natural base and the main base, there's a lot of drones that are not doing anything. Like, there's 3 drones and 8 drones that are not doing actually nothing. And that's very sad for the that's a very I can't find the word because it's just so bad.
It's depressing. It's depressing as a Zerg player.
Yeah, it's depressing. That's the word.
Oh god. Well, Jim finally he gets his space up and running. Finally, Sinner gives him some room to breathe. But with that room, Sinner, he's just taking more bases, more planetaries, more CCs all over the place because why the hell not? He is maxed out. He's working on his liberators. Oh god. And Jim, he's missing some tech. I'm still personally, I would love to see, like, I don't know, a Greater Spire, maybe a switch into Broodlords or something, maybe throw down the Ultra Cavern again. I don't know, but he needs something else to go his way.
And these Widowmines are defending so good with the planetaries. I've seen this style with Maru. Maru, what he does is he makes a lot of planetaries and he has turtles up. You know, it's like a line of defense full of planetary fortresses, and it's so difficult to break. It's such a nice backbone for the terrain in late game. Really, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. More missile turrets, more sensor towers, more CCs and planetaries, because why the hell not? We're on Romanticide. We're getting to that split map scenario, and there it is. Jimbo, he just tunes into the stream all the time. Greater Spire is finally on the way. We are going to be seeing some Broodlords if he's given enough time. Oh.
Yeah, there's a ton of Banelings. There's so many Banelings, Artosis will say. But unluckily, the Terran army is so well positioned. There's so many how do you say when the concave, like, it's so small for the Zerg, like
checkpoint.
Yeah, it's a choke point. He's got so many choke points, and I love it because this guy, it's like an engineer. He's playing Sims 4. I don't know. It's amazing.
So he's playing SimCity right now, and
Yeah.
the Ultras are going for a run by ? I understand that JimRising wants to refine his army, but this is an expensive loss. Like I don't know about this one.
Yeah. At least he's been able to get a decent bank, JimRising. Now he's got a lot of bases. He can replace a couple units, but if we see now the Sinner side, he's got so much gas. Like, all he needs to do right now is to soak up the minerals and trade efficiently, and he'll win the game. JimRising is in huge trouble right now.
Exactly.
Oh, the Baileys.
Yeah, the Baileys are rolling on in. Can they get on top of the tank? There aren't too many SCVs though, but they'll get something.
It's better than nothing, but it wasn't that efficient. And as you can see, now Liberators are being so damn good. They work so well with the Planetary Fortress because Planetaries kill the Lings and the Banelings. They soak up the damage, they buy you time, and the Liberators, they kill the Ultralists, the heavy units. And they just work so well, so efficiently. I just love how Sinner is playing this.
Oh yeah, like it's so difficult to break this position here. But JimRising, he's finally bought enough time. He's refining his army to break this. He's going old school, Broodlord Infestor. Let's go!
Hey, papi, ahora vamos a ver. We're going to see, guys, if Sinner is going to be able to deal with this army composition, the death ball of the Zerg. It's insanely efficient how Broodlord can kill. Oh no! The Infestors! Two Infestors go down. These units are so important because it's not about the minerals, it's about the gas. So much gas, so much energy and efficiency that could have been used, but now there's not many Vikings in this army, which will be a fatal error from Sinner. But now Ghosts are starting to get into action, and it's very messy. JimRising started to put up a fight.
Yeah, he's pushing through. As you were saying, the bio is a little bit overstimmed. It's going to be all about these ghosts, but the Broodlings, they're getting on top of the ghosts. Oh god, they're being forced back.
This is such a nice engagement right now. JimRising is starting to push back after 23 minutes of this game. He's starting to get aggressive and efficient. The ghosts need to be killed. Those are the objectives. If the ghosts get killed, it's gonna be amazing. But now the Infestors are very, very careful. And actually the Vikings are starting to do a good job, but there are many more Corruptors on the way, more Zerlings. The Broodlords are relentless. Nothing is killing the Broodlords right now. So Sinner's losing a lot.
Exactly, but you know what? That Viking count is getting higher. He's trying to focus them down. We do have a fungal on the Vikings. Also, I don't know if you noticed earlier, we saw a couple of EMPs from Sinner, but JimRising did a very good job at avoiding them. We do see another EMP, but we still have energy for fungals.
Yeah, and the Fungals, they do the job of the Overseer. They make the ghost reveal. So JimRising is using this tactic so that he doesn't bring any Overseers on the map just yet. But he's gonna lose all his Broodlords. So now his attack is starting to lose force. So he'll have to retreat. And that's what he's gonna do. He's very smart. He knows that he needs better units, maybe Ultralisk, more Broodlords. But he cannot push with this army right now.
Yo, and I don't know if you saw that, the body blocking with the SCVs, a couple more Infestors did go down. In the end, we see the supplies, they did kind of trade evenly, but there was a big, massive loss there for JimRising, losing all of his Corruptors, losing all of his Broodlords. The Infestor count was cut in half. Now he's going to be forced back. And Sinner, I guess he also took a lot of blows as well. He also lost a lot of ghosts. He still has a decent amount remaining, though. This is still close. I don't know.
This is the thing. The trade was better for JimRising because, as you can see, he killed so many planetary fortresses. He killed so many army supply, ghosts, liberators, Vikings. He was so cost efficient that although Sinner had an economical advantage, now he's got no bases, no economy. JimRising is starting to control, is starting to take the map again. He's starting to expand at all the bases, and he took control of the game once again. It's amazing how this guy, 23 minutes into the game, where he was battling with, I don't know, without an arm, without his hands, and now the guy is Hulk. You know, he's very strong. He goes for the, just wants to go for the kill.
God, he really does. He really does. But in the middle of all of that, like, this northern base was taken out. Sinner, he's back again with Marauders, and nothing here shoots down. Forces to be cancelled. The base there. And mate, you were talking about how Sinner, his economy, like, he lost a lot of planetaries. This is true, but he had a big bank, and now he's maxed out once again. He's ready to go. Jim needs a little bit more time, and this time he's not gonna have Broodlords.
Yeah, he switched once again into Ultralisk because he knows that there aren't many planetary fortresses, and because he's got so many corruptors, he can kill the liberators if he wants to. The problem now is that there are widow mines mixed up in this army, so if corruptors get too close, it's gonna be a real tough trade-off. So wow, this game is so hard to cast. You don't know who's winning.
Exactly. Jim, he does take down 2 bases here towards the north, but at the same time, Sinner takes the bottom left-hand base as well. They're both losing their bases. They're both kind of struggling with the supply, but Sinner still has a massive gas bank. He only has to worry about mineral income right now to sustain himself. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is the last advantage that Sinner has, the gas advantage. If he's able to mine efficiently, he's gonna win the game. Although he can lose a lot of army supply, but the thing is to keep up with these very cost-efficient units that cost a lot of gas, which are the Ghosts, Liberators. Oh my god, the engagement! Here comes the engagement! Oh, damn, the Corruptors are starting to kill all the Liberators. Look at the Widow Mines! Oh, those were such nice Widow Mines, and now JimRising needs to fall back, and this game starts to get more and more complicated.
Yeah, that it does. I was also really worried about those infestors. There wasn't a lot on the ground to protect them. There was only one Ultra at the time, so Jim, he is forced back. Oh god, and yeah, he's trying to make more Ultras, even a Broodlord in there, because why the hell not? But oh god, that was scary. Like, look at the minefield, mate.
Yeah, you cannot surpass that. It's just too difficult. I don't know how to break that. I think Broodlords will be a good answer, but he doesn't have the gas to do that.
Yeah.
A terminal spot. Is he gonna lose the hatchery? Oh wow! How many?
It has 8. At the time, it had like 6 HP left. One more shot, uno mas, man. It would have gone down.
Yeah, one more, it would have been such an epic. But I think that there's a unit going in there to snipe the hatchery. Oh, it's a Liberator.
Yeah. Thankfully, Liberators do not attack buildings, so far this hatchery will survive for now. For how much longer? We'll see.
Yeah, it's 2 Marines away from dying. Yeah, but Sinner is now focusing all his APM on this side of the map. He knows that if he loses this army, the game will be just too difficult to manage. So he's taking care of his units. He's putting up some ghosts.
The ghosts!
Oh, that was very, very close. But ghosts are still alive, so the chances of EMPs are still up. But the fungals are real good. They're trading very efficiently, and the army is getting more and more damage. Widow Mines are trading efficiently, but actually, I'm mistaken. Those Widow Mines were real buffs. Yeah. they took the damage from the Ultralisk, and I still don't know how JimRising is still alive.
Well, I mean, he has 4 Broodlords now, so at least he has that going for him. There we go. He snipes a couple of Liberators, and now he's pushing on forward. It's gonna be all about the Widow Mine shots. Oh my god!
Oh no! He took so many Widow Mine shots, and now he's got no Corruptors. How is he gonna defend the Broodlords? It was not the engagement that he needed. I don't know why he took that engagement. He should have let the Broodlords attack first, but I think he wanted to go for the kill. And now Sinner is starting to push back this. He wants to counterattack very desperately, but instead he's gonna take control of the base located at the left bottom corner.
Yeah, the bottom left-hand side of the map, exactly. Meanwhile, JimRising, he's diving back in. Maybe he was a little bit too impatient, as you were saying. He does land a fungal, but oh my god, the Widowmines are just doing so well here for Sinner. Jim, he's trying to break through, but he can't do it.
Oh no. And this is starting to be more tricky. Now Sinner's got a better army supply. If he can kill these Broodlords, it's gonna be real good. But as you guys can see, there aren't many Marines. There's a couple doors that can punish the movement from the Broodlords. But JimRising is microing like a god. He's kiting with his life because he knows if he loses these units, he's dead. This game is so tense.
It is so tense, and again, he's microing so well, keeping these Broodlords alive for so much longer. Another hero Infestor comes in with a fungal. JimRising just barely holding on, just barely pushing Sinner back.
Yeah, and both players are struggling to get all the minerals that this map can offer. Romanticide, such a good late game map. I remember when when you said, this is Romanticide, we're going to see a macro game.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the macro game we were expecting. The entire map is being mined out. And it's just, both players are one mistake away from losing.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the mistakes, by the way, is that Sinner never finished off this base. Like, this is the MVP base for JimRising. Like, without this, JimRising, he would have died long ago. He wouldn't have had the resources needed to make all of these Broodlords, but this base is doing so well for him. He has even more Broodlords now. He's sieging upon this planetary, and I think he should be able to push this through. Like, Sinner, he's struggling to deal with this.
Yeah, and the Widowmines are not good against this defense because the Broodlords can take the shots and Widowmines won't be efficient. They can even hit friendly fire, so I will unborrow those Widowmines, and the Planetary Fortress is not able to mine because the Broodlords are just too annoying, and now he's gonna snipe this. Look, are drones defending their what did I just
Yep. So 2 Widowmine shots went off, 15 drones went down, and then the boys were pulled to deal with the Widowmines. Unfortunately, again, Widowmines don't attack buildings, so the building still stands.
Yeah, he's still fully saturated, and nice reaction from JimRising. And Sinner's trying to buy time. He's trying to take the most efficient Widowmine possible. That was so close. But once again, Sinner keeps the pressure on. Now JimRising, with the couple drones that he's got left, he's trying to long distance mine because he knows every mineral counts. This game's so close.
It really is. It feels like JimRising does have a bit of an edge here, that like he's just been able to get away with just a little bit more. God, Sinner just allowing that base, Sinner not being able to expand and take this other one because of the creep being in the way as well. Really, this is the only base for Sinner, the only one available to him, and the Broodlords are still here.
Yeah, and now the Thors are gonna try to make the DPS necessary, but look at that Widowmine, all the friendly fire, the fungals are perfect, the Widowmines, once again, they are not playing with the favor, and nicely plays. Oh my god, what a game, what an epic game from JimRising. How did he win this game?
JimRising. The game started half an hour ago with fast mutas that almost got himself killed. JimRising almost died because of that play, but you know what? He was able to buy enough time, survive until the Hive, until his ultras, and then, mate, who knows what the hell happened this game, but JimRising, he won. Wow.
There was a moment in which Sinner had a clear lead, such a nice lead that there was 2 options. You macro like a god and you kill the opponent in a macro game, or you just go for the attack and try to kill him instantly. Those 2 options were completely good, like there's no mistake on taking those decisions. Sinner goes for the decision of macroing, and I thought that he would have a real good advantage, but it seems that JimRising knows more about late game than Sinner does, because he traded so efficiently with so little. He made that Brute Lord army go like the. Oh, there's no comparison to this. It's just insane.
Yeah, that I recall that moment. That moment was when, if you remember, Sinner, he was being so aggressive across the map, pushing out, and then it was when he dropped into the natural base and sniped that Ultra Cavern, right? And then he was killing Ultras left and right, and then after that push, he went back home. And then he gave JimRising like 3-4 minutes to himself, and that was the time that JimRising needed to get the Greater Spire up and running again, to get more base. Remember, that was when he triple expanded. Remember, and he got away with those bases. Like, he was stuck on 3 bases, and then he triple expanded, and he got them up and running. And Sinner just allowed him to do that because Sinner felt that he could get the economic advantage, right? As you were saying, and go to the late game, but. Mate, you don't want to give JimRising that time.
Yeah, I hope that Sinner learns the lesson to not give JimRising air to breathe, because he's just gonna revive. I don't know, from the ashes. He's gonna be Phoenix himself and just kill you. And it was such a nice game. Like, especially the last fight, I was so in shock how the Zerlings surrounded everything. The Brute Lords taking the Widowmine shots, the Banelings connecting, the Fungals on the right places. Everything went wrong for Sinner. Like, it was just so sad to see that guy fall like that. JimRising with the greatest comeback. 2 comebacks that we have been casting on this day, and I don't know if you're gonna see another one. My heart is killing me right now.
It was a beautiful game. It was a beautiful game number 1, and now we are getting ready for game number 2, and I cannot believe it. I gotta question JimRising on this one, buddy, because he let this map through the vetoes. One of the best maps out there for Terran. For the second time today, we have a map on Beckett Industries. Hey, what are we doing here? How did we get here, mate? From Romanticide to Beckett, like the 2 ends of the spectrum, mate.
Okay, if I see 12 pool, this is gonna be... Okay, there's no 12 pool. Okay, so representing at the top right corner, he's the macaco himself, the guy that makes Mutalis, loses all of the Mutalis, and wins anyway. He is El Mismísimo JimRising.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries ALE, we have the other Mexican player representing Alpha X up. Asking for a bit of a pause here. Uh-oh. Are you a ref? Are you a ref, by the way?
Let me see. I think I am. No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to be on top of this. Oh god.
Okay, Sinner is ready. Yeah.
Huh. Beautiful. We have, as you just said, the Mexican Terran player. He was so close. He almost had it there in game number 1 multiple times, but it slipped through his fingers. It is Sinner.
Damn, it's just insane how that game went, and now we're gonna see if Sinner wants to apply the same style again. I mean, would you be able to once again try to kill JimRising into a late game? I don't know. There's a lot of time investment. You'll use a lot of your energy, so this second game I feel like he's gonna be more tired. I don't know, I would be tired after that game. Almost 40 minutes. It's insane.
It was an insane game, and what I will say, getting into game number 2, we already see a bit of a different opener from JimRising. He went for a hatch pool gas. He did delay his gas here, which is a little bit interesting. It will mean he'll have a faster queen. But what I was gonna say is that if this man goes for a fast spire again, I think he's just dead. I'm gonna be shocked. Oh my god, what is it? It's a Roach Warren!
Yes, the quesito, the queso, la macacada, all the words that you can imagine in Spanish. I don't know if there are any words in English. Please tell me all of them because I want to know them. But here
Degenerate.
comes the roaches. Oh man, here comes the roaches, and now he's gonna try to delay the scout. But as you guys can see, the Reaper's gonna see this.
Oh my god, what a big brain play here by Sinner. He doesn't waste any time here at the natural base, goes straight into the main. Oh my god, and he forces a cancel.
Yeah, I think it was a good choice because once Sinner scouts so early with the Reaper, he's gonna be able to do 1-1-1, and that will be the perfect counter. And I think it's a good choice. JimRising doesn't want to risk it. He's gonna have to play a little bit from behind, but nothing that can be lethal. He can play from there. I mean, if last game was playing from 3 bases, this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. So, yeah.
Exactly. And what I love from Sinner is that he went in and he double checked, right? And so he went in for the first time, he saw the Roach Warren, he came in the second time, saw that it was cancelled, but man, JimRising throws down the Roach Warren again.
Oh my god, this is a true macacada.
Wait.
This is truly the macacada.
Can he get in? Can he get
No,
in? Can he get
no,
in? Can he get in?
no,
Can he get in? Can he get in? He sees it!
He did it! Is he gonna cancel it again? Yes! He's gonna cancel it again! Oh my god, what the hell's
Mate,
going on?
no, he's doing it! Mate, he cancelled immediately.
No.
He starts the lair and he's getting every single gas, mate.
Oh no, why? Why, JimRising? What are you doing?
2-base muter? 2-base muter?
He needs a spine. He needs spines. I don't know. He needs something to defend the Hellions. There are tanks coming up now with Vikings and Marines. This is just not good for JimRising.
Does JimRising even have any lings? Hold on, let me just... JimRising, he has 3 lings. These 3 lings behind the natural.
No.
That's what he has to defend. And 3 queens.
This is so greedy, and the Hellions are gonna do a massive damage. Now, the Overlord perhaps... Yeah, the Overlord sees the Hellions, so it gives the Queens a little time to reposition themselves. Now he's gonna buy himself time, so now he's making 10 more links. It's so greedy, man. It was just so greedy. But it's working out. It's working.
It's kind of working. So Sinner, he got in and he saw the lair. When you see a lair this early and the nonsense that was the start of this game, Sinner should know that muters are on the way. He throws down more racks as he's going to start bioproduction. I will say that JimRising has gotten away with this for now. We'll see if Sinner prepares for the muters and if he realized like what he just saw.
Yeah, one important Overlord is gonna be lost, but JimRising's got a lot of intel across the map. As you guys can see, he's dominating the map control with his Overlords. That's why Sinner made the Viking to see if he can kill some of them, and it's gonna be interesting because now the Hellions are gonna scout the 3rd base. They're gonna see that the 3rd base is late, that he's taking all the gases, and that there are no units defending this, just like last game. So this should be good intel.
Exactly, like... And he even just sees the Spire.
Oh no. Oh no.
I was about to say that Sinner has seen everything. He should know it's a Spire. He sees the Spire itself, so I mean, he should be getting ready at home. There we go. Mrs. Hearts are being thrown down.
Once again, I think this is a deja vu. We're just... I just don't have no words to this. JimRising once again doing the macacada. He thrown a lot, and so I think that should give him more advantage than the last game because he's not... I think last game he lost 9 drones to the Hellions, and now he has lost many drones. Let's see how many he's gonna lose now. 3 drones have gone down to the wire, and yeah, it's less damage than last game.
It is. You know, JimRising has that going for him. The scary thing about Beckett, though, is that, again, once Sinner holds against the initial wave, and I'm making the assumption that he will, the counterattack is going to hit so much harder, so much faster, compared to a map like Romanticide.
Yeah, and Sinner is completely ready. He knows where to defend, but oh no, what did I say? No, I'm just saying dumb stuff. Look, he just lost the tank. He lost a lot of Marines. He lost the bunker. He hasn't lost any Mutalisk yet. And I think it was a really nice trade for JimRising, taking out that tank. Now the third base is more exposed, and Sinner's gonna be very scared. He's gonna be like very not aggressive, like he's gonna be very defensive.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, honestly, that was an amazing move by JimRising. Like sniping that tank and the bunker the way he did, it forces Sinner to stay at home. It kind of makes sure that he second guesses himself about moving out across the map. And JimRising, he's buying enough time to get his bases up and running, to catch up with the upgrades, to eventually get a fourth base at some point. Like these are some nice moves.
Yeah, now once again the Mutalisks are trying to keep the army of Sinner in the base, because Sinner knows if he goes across the map, Bailings will be ready for the defense and the Mutalisk will be literally destroying his main. So now Bailings are going to start to get in. 4 SCVs going down to the wire, 5 in total with a couple mules. And the tank did a great job defending, but look at what a micro, man. He's gonna lose the tank.
Exactly. I was about to say, as soon as those Baileys came in and took out the missile strike, I'm like, yo, the Mutas, that tank is so vulnerable. He dives in. He doesn't just do that. He also styles on Sinner there with the micro. Just oh my god.
That was such a nice move from JimRising. Now he's taking an economical advantage. No, oh my god, no, JimRising. No. Don't lose the Mutalisk. I was just saying good things about you. Don't do this to me.
Look, he wouldn't be the king of the macacos if he didn't do some moves like that every now and then, okay? It's a give and take.
Like he needs to claim his throne. Yeah, you're completely
he can't look too good on camera, okay? He's it's on purpose. It's on purpose.
It's perfect. It's perfect. He needs to do something.
the mask was off for a moment there. But JimRising going for some nice moves. I was not expecting this, especially on a map like Beckett. He has to be careful, does lose another muta, but what he's doing is he's taking a ninja base, mate.
Once again, doing the risky moves. This guy is hustling. He's risking it all, and it's working. That's the most impressive thing. He knows how to gamble. That's pure experience from this guy.
I question it just because I don't know if he needs to take a ninja. Like I feel like a normal fourth is fine. But you know what, Jim? He's just doing Jim things, right? Like sure, go for it.
He's being JimRising. Yeah, we gotta let him be himself. And now Sinner is going for the counterattack, and surprisingly, he's taking the path to the fourth base. I don't know if he knows about it. No, he changed his path. Oh my god, I was like, is he gonna find out? Oh wait, no, please no. Please no.
He sees the creep. He sees the creep. He knows. Oh god.
Yes, he knows. He knows. And the Mutalisks are now trying to get all the reinforcements, but there are Widow Mines in position. A lot of Marines are taking off. A lot of Mutalisks, and this is going very, very good for Sinner. At least the Mutalisks now are starting to do a good damage. But Sinner's got such a huge army, and the Widow Mines have been taken off, but there are no Bailings anymore. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Bailings right there.
There's a lot of Bailings.
Yeah, there's a lot of Bailings. I was like, where are the Bailings? There they are.
I was wondering as well. The Bailings are ready, waiting. Sinner saw them. He turns around. He comes back home. The Mutas, they've done their job, right? Sure, Jim lost the fourth base. It's not the biggest of deals. He's dealt so much damage here with the Mutas, and he forces Sinner to come all the way back home.
Oh God, yeah, and this trade was better for JimRising, and this is what happens when you attack a Mutalisk player. He's gonna have the Bailings to try to defend as cost efficient as possible, and at the same time he'll be able to destroy all your reinforcements and try to get on top of your production so that he'll be able to get more army supply. The Widow Mines and the Marines. Mutalisk are being completely murdered, and I don't know how does he do this. He makes such good moves with the Mutalisk, and then he goes for something completely opposite of good.
Macaco, if you will. But yeah, the problem with Jim is that, like, I was about to say, like, he did such a good job counterattacking. It was so worth it if he got away with the mutas. But if we look at the units lost tab, he lost 23 Mutalisks, mate. That's so much.
God.
And because of that, like, the trade wasn't so bad for Sinner anymore. And now he's going across the map. 3-3 is on the way, plus 3 armor is about to finish up. The 4th base is on the way for Jim, but mate, Sinner is about to knock it down.
He's about to get 3 armor, and JimRising just started 2-2. So this is very insane, because now JimRising once again is not gonna get the 4th base. He's trying to counterattack the economy. He's gonna get a couple bangs. Let's see if he can make some connections. But now, oh, the 3rd base can kill. Let's see. Oh, the bailings. Oh, smart move. Oof. That was so close. That was such a brilliant move from JimRising. He almost did it.
And once again, he pulled the army of Sinner back. Now Sinner realizes, oh god, I can't waste my time chasing all these mutas. Let's go. But he's gonna run into the Bailings. The Wintermites, they need a bird. They get picked off. There's only one left.
Oh, let's see if it's gonna get a good connection. I think it won't. Oof, Sinner actually microing like a god, but Bailings are being efficient. Now Mutalisks are gonna be taking place on the defense, and a lot of Medivacs went down too. And now both players, once again, it's 2 base against 3 base, and JimRising somehow he's surviving after losing so many Mutalisks.
Yeah, again, the mutas, he just rebuilt them, and then he went for the counterattack, killed the 3rd base. As you were saying, Sinner, he's now stuck on 3. I wouldn't be opposed to him lifting up his main and, like, taking another base. Meanwhile, JimRising doing JimRising things. He traded so well with the mutas, it's now time to throw them away.
Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, that was so close, JimRising. Why are you doing this to my heart? Oh, now Mutalisks are very far away. If they're gonna counterattack, it's gonna take time. So Sinner should take advantage of this. He's taking actually new 3rd base. He's pushing the creep forward, and there's a lot of Widow Mines in position for the defense. A couple Bailings are gonna get in and see if they can get a good connection. Oh my god, he's not looking at the army.
Oh my god, there were no splits there. But at the end of the day, JimRising, he's still... Oh, never mind. Maybe we got plenty more lane bane.
He's in such a nice spot right now.
And the mutas, they come back in.
Oh, the Widow Mines. Oof, that was so close. That was so close. And Sinner, once again, he's on the back foot. He needs to save those units. Luckily, the Mutalisks were not in position to snipe those Medivacs. That would have been so epic. And JimRising is taking the 5th base. But both bases are not they're not mining, they're not in use, they just exist. They are they're for the picture, you know. My god.
I mean, thankfully he has finally expanded, right? He did go for the double expand. The bases are up and running now. Finally, Jim is starting to drone up and saturate those bases. Ooh, he has to be careful. Once again, he's across the map with the mutas.
Yeah, and the Thor, one more shot. Oof, that was so close. And that Widow Mine there, I think JimRising sees it. He wants to snipe it. There you go. And now the 4th base of JimRising gets killed, but he's got his 5th base that now is a 4th base. Once again, it's just insane how these guys are killing each other's bases. Once again, it's a back and forward game, and it's so difficult to say who's winning.
Exactly, especially because now JimRising, he had the opportunity to drone up, get this base up and running, get it saturated. Hive is about to finish up as well, so we're going to be seeing a switch, I imagine, into Ultras once again from JimRising. Meanwhile, Sinner, he's rallying across the map. He is going to be denying. Oh my god, he gets a kill in the 5th.
That was such a nice move. This is what Sinner needed, and now the Widow Mines need to be once again cost efficient. And the Marines are not getting the best trades, but those are more Marines. That's a lot of Marines. I was about to say a bad word.
That's a lot of Marines, as you said. Meanwhile, the music. Oh my! He killed the 3rd.
Again, yes. And Sinner killed the 4th base again. So both players are constantly killing each other's economy, and now JimRising is gonna try to catch up this army because he knows he got the Muta advantage. Let's see if the Widow Mites can trade efficiently, and I think Sinner is gonna trade very. Well, that's gonna be a really nice trade for Sinner.
He just basically killed every single Muta, and as we saw, a lot of the banelings, they were wasted on the Thors, so Sinner traded incredibly well there. But despite that, because of his rough economy, like he's still struggling to produce. He is still going, and that was all the banelings as well. There are only Lings and Mutas to defend.
Yeah, he's trying to get some drones and see if he can get any good shots. GG! JimRising leaps! Oh my god! What an upset.
GG. Again, like, we saw so many of those banelings wasted on the Thors. That meant that he didn't have any left to defend there. He was morphing them in on top of the ramp, but we saw Sinner was waiting just outside. And Sinner, he brought it back.
Yeah, I felt like JimRising was still on the fight. I mean, he was before that moment, he was in a horrible spot and he was able to make a miracle. Why not another miracle? I think he was just too stressed out, and Sinner kept his mind on the main objective, which is to try to deny the economy of JimRising, and I think he got into his head. JimRising just gave up.
Yeah, like, again, the supplies are very similar, so you could definitely argue that Jim could have stayed there and fought his heart out. At the same time, though, like, as a Zerg player, I understand that, if Sinner just moved up that ramp, to be fair, there's no guarantee that he would, but if he did and denied all those banelings, like, that's it, that's GG. Like, you need banelings to defend.
Yeah, he had a couple banelings, but yeah, he needed time. You're completely correct. JimRising was like, okay, this is over for me. I'm not gonna fight anymore. Yeah, I suppose it's gonna be a good choice, but now the game's tied up 1-1. Sinner demonstrated that he can beat JimRising in good old-fashioned way, pure macro game. So let's see what's gonna happen now, because both players are in such an equal level of gaming. It's just insane.
It really is. It really is. We are going all the way to that ace match between these two. We've seen both of these players perform so well. And now, game 3, it's gonna be on Jagannatha. Again, a very interesting choice for game number 3. We avoided maps like Oxide and Lightshade. Very interesting veto process between these two players. And as we get into this game, I also want to give a bit of a shout out, because we have been neglecting chat a little bit here. But thank you so much for Shurs and Zerg Troll for resubbing to the channel 10 months in a row. Gracias. Thank you so much for the support. And mate, this is it. This is the ace match.
Ladies and gentlemen, representing in the top right corner, he is the I was gonna say the blue Zerg. I'm so in drugs. The green Zerg. He is the macaco, el mismísimo, the guy that just goes for Mutalisk, and he doesn't care if he loses 30 Mutalisk. He's gonna keep on going because he just doesn't care. He is just the best. Is he gonna be able to take the serious? Yes, JimRising.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Mexican Terran player. He is blue, representing Alpha X, showing us all that he can take it to a player like Jimbo himself. It is Sinner.
Ah la la, it's gonna be a very intense game once again. Both players not taking any risk just yet. I don't want to see another Roach Warren cancel into another fake Roach Warren into a forecast 2-base Mutalisk strategy. It was just so bizarre.
It was bizarre, it was crazy, and we may see it again, because just like the previous game, JimRising went for a hatch pool gas opening, so he will have that earlier pool. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws down a Roach Warren as soon as the pool finishes, mate.
At this point, I believe you. I mean, anything could happen. I'm just in shock. I want to see this. This is completely insane. These games have been in such a nice level, back and forward, so intense. Let's see.
There it
Yes,
is.
no Warren. There it is. Oh my god.
Well, I saw the opener. I'm like, mate, Jimbo, he's doing it again, mate. He's doing it again. And the Reaper's on the way. Is he going to scout it?
No, no, please no. Yes, the Reaper's gonna get in the base now. Let's see if he's gonna get the scout. Oh,
Hey.
okay, he's going for the drone.
Yeah, and it looks like he'll...
Much moment. Oh no, he was so close of scouting it. He's gonna go back. Oh no, what a blunder. He was so close.
Exactly. That was nicely done there by JimRising again. It was very tempting to go for that drone, and instead Sinner was distracted. He did not get behind the mineral line. Sinner does not know about the Roach Warren.
Yes, and finally, JimRising with the mind games started to work into his favor. He's gonna start getting that roach production, and at least the Reaper will be able to see those roaches coming from the hatchery, so he'll have some time.
The XD's in the chat. Sinner knows what's... Oh my god, he mules! No, the mule's gonna die! Mate.
Oh, he even got the mules. That's such an important unit for this hold. And now he won't have a transition for the economy. His natural base is completely denied from mining, and that's causing Sinner to not be in such a good spot. But the good part about this is that he knows what's coming. He knows roaches are coming, and perhaps ravagers even. He's making that marauder. He's making the Viking to deny the high ground vision, and he's making widow mine. So that's a very interesting composition, and let's see if it works.
Yeah, so it's good that you pointed out that composition, because it is not normal whatsoever. Sinner, as he was scouting his opponent, or as he failed to scout, he was going for his own build, right? Concussive Shells is done. He was going for Marauders. Because of this, his supply blocked. There was no bunker on the high ground. There's no Banshee because he was going for Marauders, and now the Roach is coming in, but all the Widowmine shots.
Those were such nice Widowmine shots. That's what Sinner needed. And now JimRising is gonna suffer the pain. Oh my god, the third base is coming up from Sinner because he knows he needs to catch up in economy. And now JimRising, hopefully he gets a third hatchery, because otherwise it will be an all-in. There you go, there's the third hatchery. And now this game goes on.
It does, and it was just such a weird opening by Sinner. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do anything with it. I'm sure he would have loved to push out across the map with Hellions, maybe an armory and some concussive shell Marauders, but they're stuck at home. Meanwhile, the Hellions go across the map, but there are roaches to defend. They're not going to find too much damage here. They are going to get cleaned up.
What a nice surround with slow Serlings. That's such a nice move. And there's a Widowmine, I think, that just hit. Yeah, on the fourth base position.
Yeah.
And there's also another Widowmine on the third hatchery. So let's see if he's gonna be able to catch up some drones. Would you imagine if he catches like 13 drones, like with only one single Widowmine? That juicy shot, oh my god, that would be insane. And look, he's attacking with slow Serlings at minute 6. What?
I was about to say, Jimbo, what's going on here? Because he is harassing with slow links for some reason. I'm not too sure why. Meanwhile, that Widowmine shot did go off. 4 drones did go down, but it looks like only 4. There's no armory, so this will be cleaned up. Jim does turn around. He realizes, I probably shouldn't be across the map. Let's go back home. What am I thinking right now? It's fine.
He still doesn't make the upgrades for the Serlings. It's just there, you know. Why would you do that? It's just a waste of gas.
Sure. Hopefully we see it later on, because the thing is that he's investing in +1 range. So the Roach Warren wasn't just for that early attack. He wants to commit and go Roach Ravager. He wants to hit this 1-1 timing. And you know what? When you go Roach Ravager, it's nice to have a couple of links, and it's nice to have link speed. So hopefully he gets it later on. We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I don't know if JimRising knows about the presence of these fourth aliens. I think not.
Mm.
It's gonna be surprising. Let's see if it gets any drone kills. At least for now, it looks very promising. Those are 3 kills, nice and juicy shots. 5 kills now, and 6 drones going down to the wire, and I loved it. He was able to scout to the composition of the Zerg army. He saw a lot of roaches, so now he confirms that he's gonna play against a lot of roaches.
Yeah, he also saw that there was no link speed, so he knows how dedicated JimRising is to this composition. As you were saying, we have tank production on the way. There isn't too much here yet though, and JimRising, like, we're reaching a point, like 7 overlords are on the way, and that's because he wants to hit, he just wants to press that roach key. He just wants nothing but roaches. 1-1 is about to finish up, and he is pushing out across the map.
Yep. That's a timing push. He was planning it all along. That's why you don't need Zerlings with speed. Why would you need that if you have tons and tons of roaches with 1-1 upgrades? He also made the upgrades for the roaches to be more faster. So it's gonna be very good timing push for him. Let's see if Sinner's gonna have the tools to defend this, or if he's going to die against this. I don't know. I'm so nervous.
We'll see. I'm scared because there's only one tank, and that tank can very easily be biled. Forget about biling Jim. He's going straight for the natural, and the tank is not in position.
He's going for the upgrades. Oh my god.
May 1 eBay does go down. The second eBay is vulnerable. He's trying to push into the natural base. The tank is dealing a lot of damage, but it's exposed.
Yeah, JimRising does not know where to attack. He was trying to attack to the third base, then he said, no, you know what, let's go to the natural. He's so undecisive. 15 SCVs, perhaps 20, no, 18 SCVs going down, but at the cost of what? This is an all-in. He needs to kill. He does not need to do economical damage. He cannot transition from this. His arm is so weak.
Exactly, and I 100% agree. I think it would have maybe been a little bit better to go into the natural, not waste time here at the third base. Sure, he killed workers. Sure, he forced it to be lifted up. But Sinner, he gets more tanks out. He is looking to hold.
Yeah, and now he wants to delay once again the upgrades, which is completely nice. But this is still an all-in, and 2 tanks are already in a nice position. A lot of medivacs, a lot of marauders, a nice bio composition that can kill easily these ravagers. And as you guys can see, JimRising is on the back foot. If he loses those ravagers, it's done. The game is over.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, I'm keeping an eye on the production tab. At any point, will JimRising decide to drone up? No, right now, he keeps making nothing but roaches. The third base is still mining, by the way. He's trading okay here outside of tank range. Yo, he wants that third.
Oh my god, he's going for a 4th hatchery. No drones just yet. He just keeps making roaches. The R bottom is so damn spammed. He's just pressing it like a madman. He's furious.
Oh god, I don't know if that's the right move, because a lot of the roaches go down, a lot of the ravagers go down as well. JimRising, he is forced back. What I will say is that, funnily enough, he does have the worker advantage. He is ahead, and he has started droning.
Yeah, at least he recognized that he was not gonna be able to kill Sinner. So he starts the 4th hatchery. He's transitioning to Hydralisk, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Hydralisk then on the way, and perhaps we could see lurkers then.
Oh yeah, that is kind of where he should be going with this. The Biles try to connect, and it looks like he will not get the tanks though. Oh god.
Oh, that was such a bad trade for JimRising. He tried to get the tanks, that's why he got his army pushing forward, but the problem was that the bio made the body block, so he wasn't able to do all the necessary damage to kill the tanks, so they were very efficient on the defense.
Definitely. Nicely done there by Sinner. He does hold on to his third base, despite how low it is. But what I will say is that getting into like the mid game here, Sinner, he's down in workers, he's down in upgrades because the eBays were taken out earlier, so he's behind in that respect. JimRising already has 2-2 on the way. He's teching up. Like, this is still pretty good for Jim.
Yeah, he still has a shot at this. I think Sinner's composition is better, but JimRising's got more control of the map because of the all-in. He's got a more economy lead. It's such a weird game. Once again, it's so hard to define who's winning, who's not, because both had chances to make damage to each other. So it's hard to define.
Exactly. I think one of the hard things for Jim is that he still hasn't fully transitioned out of Roach Ravager. Like, sure, there's a Hydra Den, but where's the Lurker Den? That's what we're missing here. His infestation bit was a little bit late as well. Because of that, there's still no hive, so it's gonna take him a while to get into those lurkers and to get them upgraded.
Yeah, now he evacuates. He knows that he needs to preserve the army supply if he wants to defend the fourth base that he wants to plant in. Now JimRising knows about this base and he's angry. He's saying, you know what? Now my links got speed. So you gotta take this serious. Now my links are a deal, you know? You gotta take this serious.
Now he gets leads.
Yeah, the Hydralisks are now on the way. Hive is on the way. Also, Lurkers on the way. Oh my god, everything's coming for JimRising. All at only 4 bases. So this is very defensive, might say. No, very not committed to economy from JimRising.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, he's looking to take a 5th base a little bit late, especially because Sinner, he's already on 4 bases, right? Sinner has been able to catch up for the most part here. He's also kind of turtling with all these census towers, so JimRising is going to have a hard time really applying pressure to either of these bases, so he is looking to take another base. It's going to take a while though. As you said, there's a lot of tech in production. It's going to take a while for them to really come to fruition, right? Hive still needs to finish up, then we can get Lurker range and then adaptive talons. We may even see Vipers, but oh, we see a drop.
Nice drop. He's gonna delay the 5th base, which is a very important base if he wants to have the minerals to get the lurkers. So now there will be a couple lurkers that will be positioned around the map in order to defend these types of drops, but it's gonna be not efficient because, as you can see, there's only 1 lurker defending the 5th base. That's not a very good defense, let's say.
Oh god,
yeah, it's gonna be difficult, you know?
I think what's important though is I could be wrong. I don't think Sinner has seen the lurkers yet. I don't think he quite knows. Yeah, he doesn't know like the tech at the moment of JimRising, so he has to switch into anything else, right? There's no liberators, there's no ghosts, it's just biotank.
Yeah, the thing is, his Roach Ravager Lurker is weak because of the upgrades. Both have the same upgrades, so the bio units have more efficiency. As you guys can see, the Roaches are not trading efficiently because of this, and the only units that can give hope to JimRising are the Lurkers. And Sinner does not know about the Lurkers just yet, but if he knows, it's gonna be difficult. Now Vipers are starting to get involved into the game, and now he knows about the lurkers.
Yeah, the lurkers come out immediately. We have liberators in production here for Sinner to respond to them. But JimRising, he was having a really hard time fighting earlier because he was fighting without the lurkers. But finally he brings everything together. The Vipers are here as well. Show us the blinding clouds.
Ooh, the blinding clouds start to put a nice DPS. What just happened? The lurkers are starting to take off. As you guys can see, Sinner just got almost all JimRising's units. Now he needs to pull back. It was such a weird trade, but so efficient at the same time for Sinner.
Yeah, those tanks dealt a lot of damage there on the army. Again, JimRising, he didn't have the best positioning with his lurkers. He also doesn't have a lot of them. If I quickly check, Jim has 5 lurkers right now. Some of them are in defensive positions as well. They're not with the main army. He has to regather that energy on those Vipers. He just needs a little bit more time, but Sinner, he's waiting outside. He's not looking to give it to him.
Yeah, he's not giving any minute of breath to JimRising. Once again, it's like all the other games, JimRising under pressure. He needs to make the best moves possible. Vipers are starting to get involved into this composition. The lurkers are trying to do as best as they can, and the Hydralisks have such a nice DPS, but they are weak. That's the problem. They cannot last very long. But lurkers come from the other flank, and because of this, JimRising is gonna be able to defend. Sinner has to pull back. He no longer has the backup of tanks. he'll have to fight this army without their presence.
Exactly, and finally the lurkers come in here. Is it going to be enough? One of the Vipers was sniped earlier. Feels bad, man. We have maybe too many Vipers coming into play here. And once again, Jim, he's fighting without the lurkers.
Oh, 2 Vipers, I think, were killed in that fight, and it was very bad. It was very bad. Sinner was able to fix a little bit the mistake that he did to overcommit that positioning, and now, once again, these guys are even. Why?
Oh god, mate, I have to take a moment here to Funada JimRising, because I don't know if you noticed, for the past couple of minutes he keeps fighting without the lurkers. Even the engagement where he won here, the lurkers came in like at the last moment. It's like, mate, they're the backbone of your army, that's where your DPS is, and he just keeps fighting with like Roach, Ravager, Hydra. Oh god.
Yeah, he also needs the creep spread, but Sinner has done such a nice job delaying this creep spread that it's just so damn hard. Look, once again, he scans, delays the creep spread. Now he'll have to be forced to position the lurkers once again, and let's see if he can defend this offensive.
Oh god, we shall see as we have a drop here towards the north. The Hydras are here to respond, but again, you don't really want to face Hydras up against these Marines. I mean, eventually this drop will get cleaned up. Meanwhile, Sinner, he's moving out throughout the center of the map where there's no creep, and Jim, okay, he does respond. Does he respond in time? Uh-oh.
Oh no, the Hydralisks get caught into the position. Let's see if the Queens can give up a little bit of time. Serlings with speed. This is gonna be relentless. Oh my god, what a blinding cloud! That was such a perfect blinding cloud. And the lurkers with the Hydralisks did the best job that they could have done. And now the Vipers no longer have energy, but there's a nice concave. And with this, Sinner loses the game. JimRising with the perfect defense. He does it again. Oh my god.
Wow. JimRising, he does do it again, just barely. He holds on this time, not with mutas, but instead with lurkers. We never saw a moment there where Sinner had liberators with his main army. He was sending them out to harass. He never had ghosts either. He just didn't have what he needed to go up against that composition. Just Biotank, and it wasn't enough, mate.
Yeah, the lurkers were so well positioned, but the main key that we have to analyze was the Vipers. The Vipers did such a nice job killing the bio, not making it efficient, and most of all, making those tanks go useless. Like, what's that supply for? For nothing, because of the blinding cloud. So that was such a nice job from JimRising, and the last concave that he did was also so amazing. I just have no words to these players, because they literally gave all their energy in order to pass this Copa Hyperion. So congratulations to JimRising. Man, such a difficult fight that he had to take there, and he took it.
Yeah. Again, it was a very, very back and forth game there. It was great to see how it started as well. It was a pretty long game, but it did start with that early Roach Warren that we saw that was unscouted. Not the most ideal trade or ideal fight with it, ideal push, but you know, it was back and forth. It was an insane game, and again, props to Sinner as well, because even though he does get knocked out of the tournament, even though we had to say goodbye to him here today for Copa Hyperion, mate, he played so goddamn well today.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have another chance. I'm pretty sure, because with that level of play, the worst thing it can happen is to get a second place, because dang, he's playing very good. So congratulations to Sinner for putting up a fight, for keeping up the pressure until the last second of the game. And JimRising, he surprises us once again.
Yeah, there's a reason why JimRising, you know, he is one of the best in Latin America. And when it comes to Sinner, I wish him the best of luck. I hope he continues to practice, because I know Sinner is another one of those players, kind of like Zion's. You were talking about him, how Sinner, he takes a couple of months off every now and then, and he kind of disappears for a while. So I hope he does stick around at least until DreamHack Winter, because we saw he was so close to qualifying for the main event this season in DreamHack Fall. I would hope that he sticks around, keeps practicing, because he is so goddamn good at this game.
Indeed. I cannot argue with that. It's just completely true. I mean, nothing to say. It was nice, such a good series, and at least the last game we did not see Mutalisk.
Mhm.
Thank God we did not see Mutalisk. Otherwise, I would have been so stressed out to see such nice moves and then go back into Macaca's. It was just insane.
Mhm, mhm. Exactly. It's one of those things where, hey, you know, we get to see that JimRising, he doesn't have to just play mutas, right? He has other styles available to him. You could argue maybe that they aren't as refined as his mutas, but you know, regardless, they did what they needed to do there. And with that, JimRising, he advances on to the grand finals of Copa Hyperion number 25, and he's going to be waiting for his opponent for another Zerg or Terran, as we're going to be getting into Ryu versus Yanji.